David Taylor.
Let's play.
Horrified. American Monsters.
Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new playthrough series. Here we have Horrified American Monsters. This is a follow-up to the original Horrified that had the classic monsters in there. Now, Doug did a playthrough of the original Horrified, and I will have a link to the videos in the description below for this one. And also, if you are interested in seeing a really cool upgrade that I did to my own copy of Horrified, I'll have a link for that as well. It was on my old channel, so you're going to want to check that out. But now we have a group of investigators that are going to be checking out and trying to uncover the secrets of these American cryptids and trying to find a way to defeat them. And so in this particular game, we have our investigators are going to be taking on the Chupacabra, the Ozark Howler, and of course Bigfoot. So I have the game set up already, but I wanted to go over a few things that we have done at setup and to find out anything that you needed to do for setup for any of the monsters. On the back sides of their sheets, there is a quick setup for all of them. So what we have done with the Chupacabra is he's going to start off on the farm, and there is an overlay that goes on here, and this is going to tell us that what we are going to have to do. And we're going to take a look at these monsters in a little bit. We also have Bigfoot starting off up here at the cabin, and we also have the Ozark Howler is at the trailhead. And we're going to go over their monster sheets in a minute. And we also have our 4 investigators that are starting around the board. You can see 3 of them up at the top of the board, and we have 1 down here. So let me get a chance to go over all of these. Essentially, this game is it's a cooperative game, so all of our players are going to be working together, and they have a specific number of actions that they can take each turn, and then they're going to resolve a monster phase. And there's a nice handy reference cards that the players have to use them. But let's get into the specifics of what's going to be going on in this game, and we will start playing. I'm not going to go over all of the rules for this. There's already instructional videos for Horrified that are out there, and this plays exactly like it. So let's take a look at our monsters first. Alright, we're starting off with the Chupacabra, and he's a voracious creature that consumes everything, and we need to stop him before he feeds again. He has a frenzy order of 3. And so as we're determining who the frenzied creature is, this one has the lowest frenzy order, number 3, so he's also going to be the frenzied creature. His special ability when you roll his attack dice, if his power symbol shows up, is he has a voracious appetite, and he is going to discard 1 brown item from the board per power system rolled. Now, the brown items are animals, so there are like goats, and there's pigs, and there's horses that are out there. Now, our objective is to save the goats, so we are going to have to run around the board and collect goat symbols, and we have to fill them up on the empty spaces here. Once we have this filled up, then we can go to where the Chupacabra is at and use 6 or more strength of physical items to defeat him. So this is, and that will take care of him. But so we have to save the goats, and we're going to have to do that by going to the farm and dropping them off there. So we have this Ozark Howler, and I don't really know a lot about these cryptids, which is really interesting. I'm going to have to learn about them myself, but he's a very elusive creature, and we are going to have to track him. And he also will mark his his prey. And so the first thing that we need to do is we have to uncover his path, the trail that we need to be able to find him. And then once we do, we're going to have to go to his location and use 3 different items. One of the physical items, one of like a survival item, which are these teal ones or blue ones, and then we have also an animal to defeat him. But the interesting thing with him is once you roll a power symbol, he has whatever hero that he's targeting is going to get a death omen token, and it's just going to affect negatively when there's other monsters that could be attacking him, because it essentially makes them more prone to attack. And so the death tokens actually look like this. So get it like nice and close. There you go. So there's a number of those. So we're going to have to be very, very careful with him. And finally, we have Bigfoot, mysterious creature, and we have to obtain photographic proof that this creature exists. Now, the interesting thing with him, and you'll see as he goes along, that when if he rolls attack dice, the only thing that he is concerned about is a power symbol, and it will be like it's a bear, and he's going to wreak havoc on us being able to essentially hide his identity and advance terror on our board. So what we're going to need to do is, as he moves along, he will leave footprints. So if we collect a footprint, we'll be able to reveal one of these photographs, and eventually we will have to arrange them to show that he has photographic proof. And once we have done that, then we can go to his location and we will be able to use some survival items to defeat him. But he's going to be very, very challenging. He is one who's considered a difficult monster. The Ozark Howler is a medium monster, and the Chupacabra is the easy monster. Now we're going to take a look at each of our investigators. So we have the cryptozoologist, and she will be able to take 4 actions per turn, and she starts off at the resort. And her special action is she can place your investigator in any location with a monster. Well, that's going to be pretty useful to move around the board quickly to be able to gather items. And at the beginning of the game, everyone gets a perk card. She has this advantage of shelter, skip the next monster phase, draw and place 2 items from the item bag. So if things start to get really, really bad, we can skip the monster phase, maybe avoid an attack, and hopefully help us to move along so we do not lose the game. Next, we have the Scout, who also can take 4 actions per turn and has a special ability of move any investigator or citizen 1 location. So that's going to be useful to be able to move some of the other pieces around the board, put them in strategic positions for us to be successful in investigating and defeating these cryptid monsters. And she also has an advantage on the trail. The current player takes 2 additional actions, so that might be a great way to either help herself or help some of the other players to have a very, very effective turn. Also wanted to note that the Scout is starting off in the campground. Next we have the Mountain Man. He can take 3 actions per turn. He's going to start off at the ranger station, and his special action, I think this is super, super powerful, is place your investigator in any space. So the Mountain Man can move around the board very, very easily, yet he can only take 3 actions per turn. So it's almost going to be like move and pick up an item or advance something, or he's going to have to be quick about what he's doing. And also his perk card, the advantage of a chopper lift, place an investigator at any location. So it seems like they go hand in hand with each other. And finally we have the Psychic, who also will take 4 actions per turn starting off at the mansion, and special action of place your investigator in any location with another investigator. This is going to be good if she has items to be able to share with some of the other players, to be able to quickly formulate what we need to be able to defeat these different monsters. And then her advantage, her perk card, is a signal flare. Choose a location with an investigator. You may place any number of investigators at that location. So could be very, very useful as well. Alright, so now let's take a look at the board and how I have everything set up. So here's where our cryptozoologist is. Up at the top, here is the scout. We also have the mountain man, and then finally we have the psychic is over here. And we have the chupacabra down here, the Ozark howler is there, and finally we have Bigfoot. So there are also a number of these items that have been scattered around the board. They have there are 12 of them to start off with, and you can see there is the name of the item, and then also the basically like the strength value, and then the location where you'd find it at. So this is at the bait shop. So we're going to start playing the game now. So the cryptozoologist is going to be our first player, and she has 4 actions. Now her action is place your investigator in any location with a monster. Well, let's take a look over at where Bigfoot is. There is an item there. There is a goat at that cabin. And if we recall, the chupacabra is looking, in order to defeat him, we are going to have to basically collect and save goats. So the first action that the cryptozoologist is going to do is to use her special ability to place in a location with a monster. So she is going to go from the resort up to this cabin. That is her first action. Second action that she can do is she can pick up any number of items in your location. She is going to pick up this goat. So we'll put this down by her player board. And she's going to want to get away from there. Hopefully that Bigfoot does not. Well, Bigfoot will not attack her. Bigfoot will move away, which is kind of interesting. He wants to remain hidden. But the next thing that she will do then is she will move a space down to this intersection, and her next action, her fourth action, is to move over to the gas station. So she will have, she's working her way towards the farm. Maybe we'll pick up some additional items along the way. Now, once she has done her her investigator phase, we're now going to go on to the monster phase, and we will draw a monster card and we will resolve that. So the first thing that we need to do is place 2 items on the board. So we'll grab them from this bag. So the game comes with this bag. It has Velcro on there and all the tokens are in there. So we'll draw 2 out and see where they go. So we have a pocket knife that's going to go at the gas station. So that's nice. And we also have a pickaxe that will go at the ranger station where the mountain man is. Alright, next it says the chupacabra. No place is safe. Move chupacabra to the furthest location with an animal and remove that token. So if we count up the number of spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 spaces away from the chupacabra where there is an animal at, and I think we're going to go ahead and move the chupacabra there because it's a horse, and right now we need to have goats. So chupacabra moves up there, and we remove this. So we're just going to discard it. I'll put it into I have a little tray, so just throw the discarded tokens in there. And the next thing that we need to do is start resolving our attacks. So the first thing that we would have is the Brooklyn Banshee, which we do not have that one in play. Now we will activate the Ozark Howler, and he will move 2 spaces and attack with 1 die. So let's look at what the Ozark Howler is going to do. So the Ozark Howler is going to move into a space with the Mountain Man right away, and he is going to attack with 1 die. So I will grab this. I have a dice tray, and we will roll this and see what happens. And he's going to use he's actually going to do a hit, and actually it is going to knock out the Mountain Man. So unfortunately the Mountain Man doesn't have any items to be able to discard, so he is going to be knocked out. So we will remove him from the board. He'll be coming back actually on his turn. And we will advance the terror level by 1. So now we are 1 step closer to losing the game. And then we have to continue resolving our attacks. Finally, we have the Frenzied Creature, which is going to be the Chupacabra. And unfortunately, he is also at a location where there is an investigator, so it will not move. It's going to stop there, and we'll go ahead and have an attack with 1 die. So let's roll and see what happens with that. Hopefully nothing. Whoops, we'll roll it in the tray. And also a hit on the Psychic. So the Psychic is now knocked out, and we will again raise the terror level by 1. So we are already at 2 terror, and we're just after only the first play in game. So next we are going to go back to our next player, who is the Scout. Alright, next the Scout is going to activate, and there's really not a lot of things that she can do on her turn. She's starting all the way up here. There's not really any items that are near her, and we already have two of our other investigators are incapacitated, so her ability to move any investigator or citizen one location is not going to be real helpful, especially because our Psychic on her turn hopefully will pick up several items. So I think the Scout is going to actually move down towards the stadium. Maybe we'll grab this goat. So we're going to move 1, move to the intersection 2, move to the high school 3, and then finally move to the stadium as 4, and that is her turn. She's going to use all 4 actions to move, and now we will resolve a monster card. So we have this. We have the we're going to put out 3 item tokens. We'll grab those, see what we have. We have a goat that is going to go at the diner. So the diner is right there. We have a lantern that will go at City Hall. And we have a bear trap that will go up at the cabin, up by where Bigfoot's at. Alright. Now it also says to place Melvin at the high school, the teacher. So we're going to get one of our citizens, and I have them off to the side. And I have Melvin. And Melvin is wanting to go to the ranger station. So if we can get him from the high school up to the ranger station, then we will be able to get an additional perk card. So again, now we are going to have to activate some monsters. So the first one is the Ozark Howler. He will move 1 space and attack with 2 dice. Well, he is not going to be able to attack anybody, but the 1 space closest to investigators will be the diner. So he will move over there. And we will also then activate the Frenzied monster, which is the Chupacabra, and he'll move from the mansion over to the ranger station there. All right. Now, the Mountain Man is going to activate on his turn, and he will revive over at the hospital and be able to take his 3 actions. So we can place him in any space. So he's going to move down to the cemetery. That's one action there. And as a second action, he will pick up this shovel and this goat, so he can actually pick up all the items right there. And third action will be to move to the abandoned mine, and he's going to want to move there so that we can reveal a tracker token, a token, so we can start going after the Ozark Howler. I think that he's not too happy about the fact that he was attacked and put in the hospital, and now we're going to want to track him down. So those were his 3 actions. So he moved, picked up the items, and then moved again, and we will go ahead and resolve our next monster card. And we're going to put out 2 item tokens, so we'll grab those 2. We have a goat that will go at the campground, which is up at the top here, and we have a helmet, which will go at the high school. Next, we have Bigfoot. Remove all footprint tokens from the game board. Place Bigfoot at the town center. All right, so he has not had a chance to move yet, so he hasn't left any footprints at all, but he's going to move down to the town center of the board right there. Next, we will start activating these monsters, and so it looks like the Chupacabra is going to move 1 space and attack with 3 dice. So the closest, he's going to move down here along with the Ozark Howler. The other ones we do not have in play. We do not have the Jersey Devil, and we do not have Mothman in play. So that is that player's monster phase. Finally, the Psychic will activate. She's going to start off in the hospital as well. And so she can place, the ability is, place your investigator in any location with another investigator. And let's go ahead and move over to where the scout is. We'll use that action. That's 1 action. And we'll pick up this goat here as a second action. Third action, she will move up to the high school, and I think that her 4th action then will be to guide, and we will guide Melvin up to the intersection right here. So we're going to try to get him over to the ranger station. So that was his 4 actions. So we will resolve this monster phase, and we have we're putting out 3 item tokens on the board. So we have another goat that's going over at the sheriff's station. We have a helmet that will go in the stadium, and we have a bear that is going to go at the campground. All right, now we have the Cross Creek citizen, the Grease Monkey, place Gus at the gas station. So let me find him. Let's see, we have Gus. He's going at the gas station, which is right over here. And he is wanting to go to the bait shop, which is down here. So hopefully we'll be able to get him down there. And now we will activate Bigfoot and then the frenzied monster. Now here's the interesting thing. The Bigfoot, the way that he does stuff is he's going to roll an attack die before he even makes his move. So I have our dice tray out. Now the interesting thing with him is if there was an investigator in his space, he would not roll an attack die. He'd be too busy trying to hide and escape. So what we're going to do is roll the die and see what happens. And there is nothing. But he is going to move one space now, and he's going to try to stay away from people, but he will move to the intersection over there, trying to stay hidden. And we will also now move the Chupacabra, and he's going to move into this space with the cryptozoologist and the one of our citizens. So seeing that there is an investigator and a citizen on the space, the monster is going to always choose to go after an investigator first. And so we'll be attacking with 2 dice. So actually what I should have done was the other roll for Bigfoot. He should have rolled 2 dice, not 1 die. And a hit wouldn't have done anything. He's only looking for his power symbol. So now the Chupacabra is rolling and rolls with a hit. Our cryptozoologist, in order to avoid being knocked out and raising the terror level, will actually discard this 1 item token to avoid taking a hit. And that is the monster phase for them. So far, we are going through this. We're moving along quickly, but we're not making any progress on any of the boards, and we needed to do that. We needed to have a goat in order to start working on the Chupacabra, but let's see what happens now. So as we move back around, we are back to the cryptologist's turn, and so you can place it with the place your investigator in any location with a monster. Well, the first thing that she's going to do is grab all of these items. So we're going to take these, basically beef them up so she's got something to defend against in case she gets attacked. That's action number 1. Action number 2 will be to escort the Gus over to the diner. And then she will use her 3rd action to move over here, risking being attacked. And her final action is then she is going to go ahead and escort Gus up to... Ooh, I'm sorry, he went the wrong way. I did that wrong. He wanted to go to the bait shop. I'm thinking about Melvin, the other one, wanted to go to the ranger station. Let me back this up here. I'm sorry. So her first action was to pick up the items. Her next action will then be to escort Gus to the city hall, and she will move to the city hall. And then she's going to use as her 4th action to escort him down to the town center. There we go. I just needed to make sure that I had it, wanted to move the right investigator. I want perk cards. So let's resolve her monster card. So we're going to put out 2 tokens. So we have a rifle that's going to be going to the mansion, and we have a pistol that is going to be going to the motel over there. Stalking their prey. Move Chupacabra to the nearest location with an animal token and remove it. So, the nearest one is right here at the diner. That is removed. And we will now look and see who we're going to activate. Looks like we will be activating the Ozark Howler, who will move 1 space and attack with 2 dice. The closest location we're going to move towards is the, we'll move to the tavern. We have a choice. It would be either this way or this way, so we have the option to move there. So there's nothing for it to attack, but we have that monster phase is over. Now back to the scout. And she's at the stadium, and let's see, she can take 4 actions. She can move any investigator or citizen 1 location. Okay. Let's see. I'm debating who to move. I think we're going to move Gus over to the intersection, so it'd be closer to the bait shop. That is one of her actions. Move any investigator or citizen 1 location. Next, she is going to pick up a helmet. That's action number 2. Action number 3 is to move to the high school, and action number 4 is to move the cryptozoologist down to the town center. Okay, that is going to be her turn. Okay, no items coming out this turn. We have Haunted Music. On the Banshee monster, Matt, move 1 violin furthest from the skeleton. Okay, since the Banshee is not in play, we do not have to worry about this specific ability. But we will look down here. Bigfoot is going to activate, then the Chupacabra will activate. So let's start off here. We've got 2 dice and 1 movement space. So we're going to start with Bigfoot. So Bigfoot will roll 2 dice, see what happens with him. And I think that it's only if there's, I'm not sure if there's a citizen, maybe it's only if there's an investigator. Let me look on the rules for Bigfoot. If there are any investigators on his location, so he's not worried about that. So we're going to roll 2, and he rolls a hit and a blank. So nothing is going to happen. So now he is going to move, and he's going to move towards the move 1 space. He'll move towards the resort and try to stay hidden over there. Next, we have to activate the Chupacabra, who will move 1 space. He's going to move over towards the citizen. And that's it for him. There's nothing to attack. So, all right. The next player now, the Mountain Man, is going to activate, and on his turn, his first action is going to advance. So he's going to reveal a tracker token over on the Ozark Howler board. Let's take a look at that. So on the board, he's choosing to reveal one of these tokens. So we flip it over, and it looks like these are the 2 items that we are going to have at the abandoned mine. Is we will need a brown item and a blue item, so an animal and a survival item. So he's going to have to gather those things up and come back and be able to resolve that. Okay, one other thing that I forgot to do was as Bigfoot was moving, each time that he moves from a location or through a place, he leaves footprints. So we have one here at the town center and one at the intersection, and he is now over here. Eventually this player can be able to pick one up, and we can start working on investigating Bigfoot. But back to the Mountain Man. So the first action was he revealed one of the trail tokens. The next thing is he needs to get some. He already has a goat with him and a shovel. But his second action is, because he can move to any space, is to go over to the farm, and he is going to use the advance action to place a goat on one of the farm spaces. So placing a goat up there, we are 1/6 of the way of being able to defeat the Chupacabra. Okay, that was his third action. Let's resolve monster card. So we have 3 items that are going to be coming out. All right, we have a camera that's going to be going at the resort. We have a wolf that is going to be going at the cabin. And we have another wolf that is going to be down by the cemetery. And let's see, we have the sheriff. Place Sheriff Ford at the sheriff's station. Move the frenzy marker to the next monster and move each citizen 1 space towards their safe location. Okay, well that's kind of interesting. So we put Sheriff Ford, we find him. Alright, Sheriff Ford at the sheriff's station. Move the frenzy marker to the next monster. So that is going to move from the Chupacabra down to the Ozark Howler. And moving 1 space, these are going to be each moved 1 space towards their safe location. So this one's moving towards the gas station, and this one is moving down towards the bait shop. Now, because this is resolving on Mountain Man's turn, and Gus has reached a safe location, he's actually going to receive the perk card of Cave In. Choose 1. Place the Ozark Howler at any location or move any monster 3 locations. That is going to be useful for sure. And now what we need to do is activate the Frenzied Monster, which is going to be the Ozark Howler. He's going to move 3 spaces and attack with 2 dice. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we're looking at him. 1. And we have a choice because they're equal distance who's to go to, and I think that the cryptozoologist will be willing to take him on because she has more item tokens to defend any of his attacks. So he's going to move and stop there, and now we're going to roll 2 dice. Let's see what happens. I'll move this down so you can see. And we have 1 hit and 1 special ability. So the targeted hero is going to gain a Death Omen token for every power symbol rolled. So that's wonderful. The cryptozoologist now has 1 of these. And we have a hit, so we're going to give up an item. Going to give up this map that came from the gas station. So that's going to be discarded. So kind of a nasty attack there, but at least she wasn't knocked out. All right, so finally we have the Psychic will be taking her turn, and she's going to be activating, and she has a special ability. Place your Investigator in any location with another Investigator. Well, she actually has 1 of her items. She has a goat. She's going to move herself over to the farm, and she will go ahead and second action will go ahead and advance and place this 1 goat token onto the Chupacabra board. So now we have 2 goat tokens on there. So we're 1/3 of the way. The next thing that she needs to do is, if we look at this, we need to find a spot that has like a blue and brown items. Somewhere that's close to another Investigator. She's already taken 2 actions. Let's see. 3rd action, she's going to go ahead and move over to the high school. And 4th action, she's going to pick up this helmet, so she actually has a little bit of protection in case she is attacked. So we're trying to... it just seems like we're not getting a whole lot of traction here. with some of these things, but the monsters keep coming and coming and coming. So here again, now we're going to have 2 item tokens come out. We have a horse that's going to be going to the resort and a walkie-talkie at the ranger station. So the resort gets a horse. The ranger station is going to get a walkie-talkie. Boy, the mountain man, on his turn, it would be really worth it for him to get up there, pick up those items, and then try to get over to the abandoned mine and start working on getting the Ozark Howler taken care of. All right, back to our card, though. We have the Banshee of the Badlands. So not in place, we don't have to worry about that. But we will, again, activate Bigfoot and then the Chupacabra. So first let's roll for Bigfoot's attack dice. He's rolling 2. Looking to see if he hopefully doesn't roll a power symbol. All right, he rolled 2 blanks. And then he is going to move 1 space. So I think he is going to move up to the swimming hole, and he will leave a footprint at the resort there. Next, we will activate the Chupacabra. All right, the Chupacabra has a character on his space, so he's not going to move. So unfortunately, he's going to be attacking Melvin, who is trying to make his way over to the ranger station. So let's see what happens. He's going to be rolling with 2 dice. And unfortunately, he is going to take out one of these, our citizen. So he is gone, and we will raise the terror by 1. So that's unfortunate. We're at 3. And was kind of hoping to get him over to the ranger station to be able to get a perk card. But unfortunately, that has not happened. But that is the end of this monster phase from the Psychic. All right, coming back around, our cryptozoologist is taking their turn, and the first action, we're going to basically do what's called, we're going to advance. So, actually, we're going to pick up a footprint token, and we'll see what that does. So picking up this this token is actually using the action called Advance for exposure. So we're going to turn in this footprint token, and we will reveal a photo tile on the Bigfoot. So we will take one of these and we will flip it over to see what we have. So there's a partial image of one of the things that we are trying to find. So that's actually good. Let's return back to the board and see what she's going to do on her next turn. So for her second action, she is going to move to the intersection. And we'll go ahead and use the advance thing again to pick up a footprint. And again, we'll be able to reveal another tile on the board. So turning this in, we'll go ahead and flip another one over. All right. So we've got a couple things investigated on him. She has one more action for her turn. So I think for her action, she is going to move on down to the bait shop, and that will be it for her turn. Hopefully next turn she'll be able to pick up those items that are down there. So let's go ahead and resolve our next monster phase. Here we have 3 items that are going to be coming out on the board. So we'll reach into the bag, pull them out. So we have some poison that's going to be going to the bait shop, binoculars at the stadium, and a baseball bat at the stadium. So we'll drop those 2 at the stadium, and the poison at the bait shop. That's going to go right down there. All right. So next we have the councilman. So we're going to place Jimmy at City Hall. So we'll find him. Here is Jimmy, and he will be going to City Hall right there. Now, next thing we need to do is, well, Mothman's not in play. That's what the M is. The frenzied creature will move 1 space and attack with 1 die. Alright, well, the Ozark Howler is right here, and we'll move over to the farm because it would prefer to attack an investigator rather than a citizen. So, let's see what happens. This is before. These two have a history. And so the Mountain Man is going to take another attack from the Ozark Howler. And this time the Ozark Howler missed. So thankfully nothing bad happened there. So, alright. So the next player's turn will be our Scout. And so she says she can move any investigator or citizen 1 location. Well, Jimmy is trying to get to the mansion. So we're going to use an action to move him from the city hall to the tavern and kind of get him away from the chupacabra. The second action she is going to take is move to here, to the intersection. And third action will be moved to the resort. And fourth action will be to advance this by picking up this this footprint token and being able to flip something up on the Bigfoot board. We'll turn this one in, and we will flip this one over. Alright. So there we go. So we have 3 pieces that are revealed so far. Alright, our next monster phase is, well, we have the Jersey Devil, always waiting. We're going to put out 2 item tokens on the board. So I'll grab those. We have a lantern that's going to the police station, and we have a deer at the swimming hole. So the police station, which is also the sheriff's station, so that's going to go there. And where do we have the swimming hole? The swimming hole is over by where Bigfoot is, there. Alright, we do not have the Jersey Devil in place, so we don't have to worry about that. But we will do the Chupacabra and then the Ozark Howler, which the Ozark Howler is actually going to move twice. Lovely. It looks like our Mountain Man might be in trouble. So let's activate the Chupacabra first. He's going to move 1 space. So towards the closest investigator will be over to this intersection here. Will not be able to, there's nothing to attack. So next the Ozark Howler is going to activate, and he's not going to move because there's already an investigator there, but he will attack with 2 dice. So we'll bring this out on the board and we will roll, see what happens. And 2 hits. So he's going to unfortunately get knocked out. He only has 1 item to discard, and he's still going to get knocked out. So at that point, he is not going to... actually, what he's going to do, no, it's too late. I was going to say I could have used this cave-in to move the Ozark Howler to any location. But he's just going to take the knockout. So he'll end up in the hospital on his next turn, and we will advance our terror level up to 4. So that was probably should have done something beforehand, but we're not going to fix that. We're going to take it as it is. And then the next action is that he's going to, now the frenzied creature will activate, which is him. He was going to move back 1 space over here. So he's just spreading terror throughout the town. Okay, so that is the Scout's turn. So now we're going to get to the Mountain Man. So while we're on the subject of the Ozark Howler, and the cryptozoologist has one of these death omen things. This means that when any monster goes to attack them, automatically they're going to take a hit. So we're going to make sure that we have items to be able to discard that. So even if there's misses, no matter what, that death omen is going to basically be a curse. on that creature, or I mean on that investigator. So now at the end of that monster phase, the mountain man is going to reactivate, and he's going to wake up in the hospital going, man, I'm really sick and tired of this creature. He's causing me nothing but grief. So he is going to use his first action to go up to the ranger station and pick up these items up here. He's picking up the walkie-talkie, a goat, and a pickaxe. We'll put them in front of him. And the next thing that he is going to do then is move over to the abandoned mine. So we need to start really working on tracking down the Ozark Howler, and so we can get on to the next trail. So those were the requirements. If we look again on this tile, we are needing a like a teal item and a brown item. So we have those. Those were his three items, and I think that let's see, he has a chopper lift, and I'm looking to see who is in trouble or who should be kind of far away or what we need to do. I kind of want to protect the cryptozoologist. She's got a couple of items, but she can pick up a bunch more, so I don't really know if I want to move her. Bigfoot's kind of cornered over there, so he's going to end up moving through some people, leaving some footprints. And Psychic has one item. I think we're going to be okay. I'm not going to use any of his item cards. So we'll go on and go to the monster phase for him. We will put out 3 items. And it looks like we're going to have another citizen that's going to be coming out on the board. Right. So our 3 items. We have a torch that's going to be going at the cabin, a pig at the bait shop, and a pickaxe at the campground. So the cabin gets a torch, the campground gets a pickaxe, and the bait shop is going to get a pig. All right. We're going to we have the soda jerk. So place Mari at the general store. All right. So I'm going to find Mari, and we'll place her on the board. So, all right. So we have Mari, and she is going in the general store, which is up here. She's trying to get to the town center. So we already have Gus has been taken care of. I just saw his character. He was already been to the safe location. And now we are going to, again, we have the Banshee is not in play, but we have the Frenzied Creature, which is the Ozark Howler, is going to move 1 space and attack with 1 die. So he's going to move into this intersection here, and that is it. Nothing for him to attack with. Alright, so next we are moving on to the Psychic. And let's see what she can do. She needs a few things. She can move with another where there's okay. So the I think she's going to use her ability to place her investigator in any location with another investigator. So she's going to move to the abandoned mine. That's 1 action. Her second action, she's going to move over to the cabin and pick up these 3 items. That's number 2. Her third action is, let's see. Third action will be to move up to the campground, and fourth action will be to pick up those items as well. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I did too many actions. So her first action was to move up here 1, 2, pick up the item was 3, move to the campground is 4. She can't pick those up yet. All right. Let me show the board here. Sorry, you totally missed all of that. She moved up here, went grab these items, moved up to there. Sorry about that. Then we will now have our monster phase here. We will have 2 coming out onto the board. Alright. So we have a goat going at the mansion and a fishing pole at the tavern. So a goat up at the mansion and a fishing pole at the tavern. And the tavern is... I gotta figure out where it's at on the board. Right here. Okay, now we have Ozark Howler, dead end. Replace any empty trail spot with a new face down tracker token. This player gains a Death Omen token. Alright, well right now we don't have an empty trail spot. So we don't have to worry about putting that one down, but this player gains a Death Omen token. That's wonderful. So she's going to be another one that will start taking hits with attacks. Next, we're going to look over here. The Banshee's not in play, the Jersey Devil's not in play, but we will be doing the Frenzied Creature, which is the Ozark Howler. And the Ozark Howler is going to move 1 space and attack with 2 dice. And unfortunately, it's going to the Cryptozoologist. So automatically is going to take 1 hit because of her Death Omen token. And then we'll see what happens with these other 2 dice. We'll go ahead and roll those. Let's see what happens. So blanks. So she will go ahead and remove 1 of these just because of the Death Omen token, so we'll discard that. And that is the end of that phase there. So we will be moving on to the Cryptozoologist's turn. Alright, so the Cryptozoologist's first action, looking at the board, we're down here, let's zoom out, is to pick up all these items. So that's 1 is right there. Her second action is so you can place your investigator in any location with a monster. We need to gain some ground rather quickly. So we will move up to where the Chupacabra is. 2 and 3 will move to the gas station, and 4 we will move to the diner. I think at this point we're going to go ahead and use the her shelter card to skip the next monster phase, draw and place 2 items from the bag. I'd rather not have an attack right now. Try to see if we can maybe get ahead a little bit more. So we have a flashlight at the tavern and a compass at City Hall. So the compass goes there, this goes to the tavern. Alright, skip the monster phase so we don't have to worry about drawing a card there. It's now the scout's turn. So we can move, it says move any investigator or citizen 1 location. I don't like where the Chupacabra is sitting right here because I'd like to move him. But let's go ahead and move Mari over from the general store to the diner. That's one of her actions, to move an investigator or citizen 1 location. The other thing that we can do is pick up these 2 items right here. So that is our second action. The third action, let's see, will be to move Jimmy from the tavern to the diner. That's 4. That's 3 actions. And 4th action is to move over by where Bigfoot's at. Alright, so we'll go on to the monster phase. And we're putting out 0. And what do we have? Bigfoot Rainstorm. Remove all footprint tokens from the game board. Place Bigfoot at the swimming hole. Oh, he's already at the swimming hole. So we have the Chupacabra is going to activate. So actually what's going to happen is, because of where he's at, well, he's not even going to move. It just gets placed there. It doesn't really mean anything. We can't really find him, because there's a really weird rule about Bigfoot. Let me just check what it. So there's an interesting thing in the rules that talks about Bigfoot's movement. It says Bigfoot will not end his movement in a location with an investigator. If Bigfoot encounters an investigator in a location, add +1 to its movement. As Bigfoot leaves and moves through location, places a footprint. He leaves a footprint. As he moves through locations, place a footprint token on each location. Well, this is kind of weird because it says, remove all footprint tokens from the game board. Place Bigfoot at the swimming hole, which we did. But there's an investigator there, so I think that the way that this interprets is we're just going to move him away, and he will end up leaving a footprint there. Any other footprints were on the board would have been washed away. So if I'm playing it wrong, well, that's so be it, but that just happens to be the way that I'm going to interpret the rules for that. And then finally we need to activate the Chupacabra. He's going to move 1 space and attack with 3 dice. He's going to end up moving this way towards these guys. All right. So the Chupacabra is up there. All right. So that's that. All right. So we're back to the Mountain Man now. So the first thing that he's going to do on his turn is go ahead and use the advance ability to turn in tracker token requirements. So we have to turn in the blue and brown items from his board, so those get turned in, and we will remove that from the board. And his second action is to go ahead and reveal the next one on the board, so let's take a look at what we have. So turning in those tokens, we were able to remove this one, and the next one we flip over says 5 strength or more of the yellow tokens. So the first action was to turn it over. Second one was to reveal a new one, and a third one, he actually has 6 strength in yellow. So we're just going to go ahead and turn those in right away and get that one off the board as well. So that was just a really stroke of luck to be able to have a really productive turn like that, and to basically get 2/3 of the way of being able to find him. So the Mountain Man is determined to take down this Ozark Howler. He's hot on his trail and was able to quickly follow the trail. We've got his scent per se, and he's going after him. So let's go ahead and take care of our monster phase. All right, so we're going to put out 2 item tokens. So we have a compass is going to go at the diner, and we have a protective vest up at the ranger station. Mothman is not in play, but we do have Bigfoot and the Ozark Howler will activate. So the first thing we're going to be rolling 3 dice to see what happens with Bigfoot. So far he hasn't really been much of a threat. He hasn't done anything with his abilities, so we're going to go ahead and place this out here. Roll 3 dice. And he actually does now have his power symbol. So it's kind of interesting what he does with his power symbol. It's called It's a Bear, and only 1 power symbol is counted no matter how many are rolled. Move the terror marker up 1 space on the terror track and flip 1 revealed photo tile to its reverse side. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to advance this, so things are not looking very good for our investigators. And then also over onto his board over here, one of these is going to get flipped back over to its hidden side. So that's what happens with the Bigfoot. And then he is going to go ahead and move 1 space, so he's going to move into the intersection, and he will leave a footprint there at the resort. And now we will activate the Ozark Howler. He's going to move 1 space. And let's see. So the closest investigator is here, so he's going to move over that way. And will not. There's nothing for him to attack. So that will take care of that monster phase. So now it is back to the Psychic's turn, the green player. She's up at the top, up there. While she's there, her first action to go ahead and pick up these extra items. She's going to need them. And so she has a goat with her. It would be nice. It says place your investigator in any location with another investigator. So she's going to use her ability. Her second move is to go over to the diner with where the cryptozoologist is. And her third action will be to move over to the general store. And her fourth action will be to pick up this other goat that's here. So she's got a couple of them. I think she needs to get down to the farm and start working on getting the chupacabra taken care of. So those were her 4 actions. So we will go ahead and reveal. 3 more items are going to be coming on the board. All right. So we have a walking stick will go at the motel. We have a goat will go down at the swimming hole. And we will have a shovel at the town center. All right, next we have the park ranger. Place Ranger Elena at the ranger station. So, where is Ranger Elena? All right, she's at the ranger station. And move the frenzy marker to the next monster. Move each citizen 1 space towards their safe location. Okay, so now the frenzy marker is going to move down to Bigfoot. And all right, and then we're going to move everybody 1 space towards their safe location. All right, so the sheriff is going to move towards the ranger station. The Jimmy is going to move up towards the mansion to the ranger station. Mari is going to move to the tavern. She's moving towards there, towards the town center. And Ranger Elena is going to move from the ranger station down to the diner. She needs to make her way up to the campground. All right. So now we're going to activate the, if we look at the card, we just have the frenzied creature is going to activate, move 3 spaces, and attack with 2 dice. So the first thing that we need to do is roll the attack dice for Bigfoot and see what happens. Hopefully we don't have any more of those special, his power symbol showing up. Whoops. There's 1 die. The other one fell on the floor. Rolling it in there. And again, we have another power die. So we will again have to raise the terror level up 1. So now we're at 6. We have 1 more. And our investigators are going to lose. And then also we go over to the board and we'll have another one of his pictures flipped over. So Bigfoot is not very happy that people are trying to prove that he exists. He just wants to stay hidden, wants to stay alone. And now he is going to move 3 spaces away. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. So he's going to move from the intersection up here, there. So now we have to leave some footprint tokens. So we have 1 at the intersection, 1 here. Now the way that this works is we have 4 of them out. As we have to continue covering his tracks, the furthest ones are going to move away. So from the swimming hole, this one is going to move up there. So it seems like enough time has gone by where you will not see where his tracks are. Okay, wow, things are going bad here. Let's see now. That was a That was wonderful. So we have to figure out what we're going to do now. So that was the psychic. So now we're back over to the cryptozoologist is taking her turn. So let's see where she's at on the board. She is currently sitting over at the diner, and she has a number of items that she has. No, she's got nothing though that to go after, like the chupacabra or anything. She has a number of items that once we find the Ozark Howler's trail, we can try to track him down and vanquish him. Especially with her ability, place your investigator in any location with a monster. Let's see, what else can we do? There's nothing really to share. Oh, well, the next thing, what she can do though is she can move an adjacent character. So I think she's going to help Ranger Elena get to the campground. So she's just going to escort her there over to the gas station. That's one. And then 2, she's going to move here. 3, we will move Mari to the city hall. And 4, she will go ahead and pick up this compass, so she has an extra item. Whoops, over here. All right, that was her 4 actions. I'm just trying to see if we can get some extra perk cards. All right, so we have 0 items coming out. We have the Jersey Devil, who is not in play. But we look down here, and it's going to be Bigfoot's going to activate, then the Chupacabra, and then Bigfoot again, because he's the frenzied creature. Things are not going to... This may be the end of the turn, or the end of the game, folks. Let's see. So we have... Bigfoot is going to roll his attack dice first, and nothing is going to affect that. He's going to move 1 space, so he'll move down to the sheriff's station. He's kind of moving in circles. So we'll take this one from the resort and we'll move it up to the motel where he was. Next, we will activate the Chupacabra. He's going to move 1 space and attack with 2 dice. So he's going to go up to where the mountain man is, and the I think actually what's going to happen is, let's go back and redo this here. Mountain Man is going to use his advantage card, because these can be played at any time, to place an investigator in any location. And he is going to get away from there, because he can't afford to get knocked out. The terror level will go up. So he is going to move himself over to the tavern, figuring he probably needs a drink. So now the Chupacabra is going to move, basically backtrack and move this way towards where the investigators are. That seems like more of a important action there. That would be beneficial. And now finally we will activate the frenzied creature, which is Bigfoot. So we'll roll his dice again, see what happens. And we roll the power symbol, and at that point that is going to cause the terror level to move all the way up to the end, and the last photo of his would have been flipped over. So unfortunately our investigators were not successful in taking out the Chupacabra, the Ozark Howler, or Bigfoot. So it was kind of a challenging game. I know I probably moved along at a pretty quick pace. I wanted to keep the game moving so that we could stay in the action the whole time. And you did get a chance to see how these different characters can do different things. I really like the Horrified system. I really like the game. Hopefully you guys like this. I mean, we were actually able to get one one of our citizens to safety, and we're trying to move them along here, but it just seemed to be too much for our team of investigators. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys thought. Let me know if I missed anything. I don't think I did. You know, what do you think of Bigfoot with that ability? He can, once he starts get on a roll, and he can spread terror and really bring the game to an end really, really quick. So let me know what you think of these cryptid monsters. What do you know about these cryptids? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to know how much you know about their lore and different things like that. And thank you guys for watching this playthrough, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.